Titanfall 3. It's a good. Let's see some of that. Freaking Tarzan could do this better. Insanity. Yeah, not really though. Skill smashing. But I digress there. Yeah, go f yourself. We'll see some of that. Maybe don't let your entire fan base fall off before you start updating your game and you won't have this problem. Nope. No, we won't. Hello YouTube, this is Disruptor Brohemoth here, and today we're going to be talking about Apex Legends matchmaking update as well as anti-cheat update. Let's get into it. Starting off with the anti-cheat update, they are going to address teaming. Now, for all anti-cheat, this is going to be an evolving process, as they say, as cheating is never going to be completely destroyed. All we can do is mitigate the problem. And one way of mitigating our issues for teaming is rolling out a new automated teaming detective algorithm, swifter and more severe punishments, and stripping any ill-gotten ranked points from offenders. So yeah, harsher punishments is going to be a necessity moving forward because it's too easy for people to get bot accounts and cheat. So only 1,200 accounts have been taken on so far, which is not very many compared to the overall percentage of cheaters. But that included 17 million ranked points, which is absolutely insanity. This here helps with our ranked integrity. So hopefully these points are being stripped, you know, like from leaderboards and whatnot, and they're no longer, you know, Pred 1, 50 and whatever for the cheating accounts. So people that actually deserve those ranks should hopefully get them now. But obviously this has a long way to go. Botting. Again, it's just going to be another brand new machine learning model that hopefully detects this new generation of bots. But then they also mentioned building a more future-proof. It's built to be more future-proof and combat future variants and evolutions. All we can do is really take their word at that, and you know, trying is the most we can get out of anti-cheat anyways. But it is nice to see they're doing something. They're saying they're doing something. Report feedback honestly doesn't even matter, because we shouldn't be doing the reporting anyways. It should be very, very mild. I mean, half the community can't tell a cheater from a good player regardless. So let's just hope that these machine learning models will take care of these for us. Recently compromised accounts. If you guys have heard, a couple high profile accounts were compromised and gave a big scare for being hacked. In the process, they had found 2 exploits that they have resolved and shut down, which I can't tell you how many exploits there are in overall, so I can just assume that, hey, progress is good. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of matchmaking. That's what we all came to see, right? Unranked skill display. In ranked mode, currently they are showing a distribution of ranks for the lobby, but they're going to add this to casual modes for like pubs. And since there's no ranks, they're going to have a different way to display this distribution. And so this bar is going to be like essentially the same the whole time. You know, low end, a little below average is your average players, a little above average, and your very good players. So what we can see from these 2 graphs here is it's going to show us a gray bar. This is the width of the overall distribution in your lobby, and the red line is where your team falls on that distribution. So from our first setup here, we can see that the lobby is very skilled, and out of that very skilled lobby, you're the best, the absolute best. But it's a very small width, so it doesn't necessarily mean very much. They're all going to be very skilled, all little hair differences. Down here, it's a much bigger difference. You have a little bit of above average players, a lot of average players, and some below average. The problem with this graph is it's not distributed by weight. This looks like a very static line that has no real meaning whatsoever, other than this is what a normal distribution looks like, but you can't tell how many players fall where. It could all be right here with like a few players over here. There's no real way to tell. So that needs a definite improvement. From what they've had though, so this is in ranked. You can obviously see this is a very big problem. We have 8 gold, 24 platinum, 18 diamond, and 10 predators all in the same match. The number obviously gives you the weight distribution of how much are in one. So I mean right here, if we went back, I mean your gold's probably right around here. No, this is probably platinum and more diamond and master and predator. So honestly, like just from this picture alone, we'd probably see something from this line here, maybe a little further up, all the way to the end. which is absolute insanity. But if we just had a bar like this, you couldn't even tell how many are where. Let's take another look at a picture. So this one is a full pred team with assumably two other pred teams, all triple stacks. But that's the problem also with our old rank distribution, is because you don't know who is in what team. You just know that they have this rank and that they can team up with 2 ranks below or above. I mean, it could be almost anywhere. Like, I mean, the plats and silvers could be playing, and then the plats are playing with the diamonds, but the diamonds are playing with the master players. You know, so like you get the silver to pred, and that's everybody but bronze, right? Who's having fun here? Who's this fair for? Not really much of anybody. Last look. Take another one, even more ridiculous. You got rookies, 3 rookies, 12 plats, 26 diamonds, 2 masters, 17 preds. Who's this fun for? Who's this fair for? You can even take a look at the team that we have up here. There's a rookie, a platinum, and a diamond. Why? Why are you playing ranked together? Why is that even allowed? Why is a rookie and a diamond in the same game, let alone a plat? But like, that's odd. That's not good. But this data is good. We don't have this for social, so it is very nice to see. It'll give you some insight on how to play, okay? You know, it's going to be a very tight matchup here. It's going to be very hard. You're going to be on your everything. Here, guess what? It's still going to be hard for you. It's going to be probably a lot harder for you. Because from what we can see, most of the match is above your team. So you need to play cautiously here. But that alone is some good intel. But it could be much better. Let's move on to seeding skill values. So this is when we have new LTMs coming in. Before, the matchmaking system wouldn't be heavily on any sort of MMR. It would just kind of be everyone starts random, and then you shoot off into the directions of your skill level. So they're insanely elastic. But what they're going to do now is change that to where your starting MMR, your starting point position, is going to be much more tied into your previous game modes in your history. It'll still be somewhat elastic at the beginning, so you can still, you know, if you're not very good at this game mode, it's not going to punish you incredibly hard. You'll get to where you need to be quickly, but it's not going to be like pred masters starting in bronze matches and then having to work their way up to preds again. So overall, this will allow players to be in their correct tier based on their performance in other modes. So that should be good overall. Lessening ranked resets. Now this is a big one for me, as I do not like how often the ranks are reset. It kind of defeats the purpose, especially when we're all starting in bronze practically, depending on whatever rank you ended up in. Or say you missed a split, yeah, you'll be here in bronze with me. Doesn't really matter, because like if we're in rookie and bronze, we're already facing predators anyway, so what the hell's the point of the rank system, you know? But at least now they're going to be reducing the amount of seasonal RP and split resets, so hopefully the season leaderboard will last longer, giving more people an appropriate chance to get to their rank. And as we'll see down below, it shouldn't be as hard. You know, you shouldn't have to be putting in hundreds to thousands of hours just to reach top rank, or let alone the rank that you think you deserve. Next up, we'll go down to testing. Nope, no we won't. Next, we'll go down to Apex bots. Apex Legends has created a bot lobby, which has essentially helped them test their bots. And so another thing they're going to test is implementing these bots into lower tier public lobbies. And it's only supposed to be more of an introductory tool to help beginners learn to keep those widths smaller. So, you know, the new rookies and bronze players in normal lobbies aren't going to have a big enough chance to be facing master and predator players. So it'll actually give them a chance to learn. The good thing about this is they're going to be a part of full squads. So there's no bots are going to fill your squad. They're just going to be on their own 3 stacks to help reduce the amount of highly skilled players being in your new lobby, which is great for new players because they already have a hard enough time getting into the game with how insane the matchmaking is. So that's a definite W there. Now, probably the best of all, preferential matchmaking. Solos versus pre-mades. I hear your solo cries, guys. I hear them. I know. And hopefully they're doing something about it. So let's see here. So we need to keep pre-made squads and solo queuing players together to maintain healthy queue populations and ensure that matchmaking quality isn't compromised. Weak. It's worth calling out that there would be a significant impact to queue times in order for this change to be felt by players and reach the level of desired impact. With that in mind, we're going to run a lot of testing to understand the impact of adding preferential matchmaking criteria based on pre-made versus solo. The goal of this is for the matchmaking system to take into consideration pre-made versus solo queuers and attempt to match them together as much as possible within the acceptable level of impact to queue times and skill width. Yeah, that was kind of a bummer, actually. Maybe don't let your entire fan base fall off before you start updating your game and you won't have this problem. This should have been done years and years ago. And they're just looking into it now, which is pretty sad. I actually thought they were going to make this change, but they're just testing into it. And it seems like they're going to keep people together, so that's a pretty big L. Yeah. Queue time adjustments. Yeah, go f*** yourself. Queue times are already really quick. I don't know what the problem is here. You know, like, yeah, bump up the queue time so we can have fairer lobbies. That's pretty self-explanatory. Because I don't think we need to keep showing this. But this is our lobbies. And that's not okay. So, sorry. Maybe an extra 30 seconds, okay? Extra couple minutes will be fine. Ranked pre-made restrictions. So this is kind of where all the problem is for ranked. Well, not really, but it's a big one. It's what we're all talking about today. So, with the ranked skill display showing that yes, sometimes a silver can be in the same lobby as a master. That's a rookie impret, brother. It's less clear that this is partially due to pre-made squads allowing players with 2 tiers of each other. Within 2 tiers of each other, which is absolutely nutty. I don't know why a silver can pair with a platinum. I mean, you just destroyed ranked right there. I mean, if this guy's good enough, just give him a couple days to get into platinum or give him a day or whatever. But I don't think we should be carrying low-skilled players. I was just saying low-skilled just because of his rank. And it just muddies up the whole system. So a silver player can pair with a platinum, and they can then get pulled into a diamond lobby, which also allows masters, which are essentially predators. But we all know they're not, because the top 750 predators are much better than the lower end of Masters players. We would further restrict pre-mates to reduce the width of matches caused by pre-made squads, but this would limit who could play together in its current form. We're not a big fan of that route, as this is a team game, and forming squads with your friends to compete is something we'd like to see more of. Yeah, they call that pubs. That's where you play with friends that aren't in your skill level, which you also should fix. But ranked, that's not where friends come to compete. I mean, is this a social game or a competitive game? Do ranks matter? Or are they just silly little decorations? You know? We want it to matter. So sorry, I don't think your silver friend should be playing with you in platinum. I barely even think your gold friend should be playing with you in platinum. But I digress there. A return of ranked placement matches. So this is what we said we would come back to. This is what is also going to help with our lessening rank resets. So if we have the return of placement matches, we don't have everybody starting at the bottom and just skill smashing everybody together. Doesn't matter who you are, you're all facing each other in bronze and silver anyways. So instead of creating that ridiculous system to force you to play more, you'll play your 10 placement matches, skip half the tiers, be into appropriate lobbies with people of your similar skill level, and grind from there. Which is how ranked works. And it's how you get rid of all the BS. But hopefully, with smaller width matches, it'll matter. But before, when we had ranked placement matches, you still had the same width lobbies. So it doesn't matter if you're placing in a silver lobby or gold lobby, you're still facing rookie to predator. Not entirely, not every time, but a lot of the time. So if you're getting crushed by Preds and Masters and Diamonds and Plats, if you're whatever, like, you're just gonna, they're just gonna think you're worse than you are. Skill difference and scoring. This is a fairly new topic. Yeah, not really though. You can, how can we leverage scoring outcomes to make the match more fair when there's wider skill mixing in a lobby? Well, first off, there shouldn't be. That's the first issue. You're trying to create you're putting a band-aid over a problem instead of fixing the problem. I'm assuming with all of these integrations together, we can create something good. Each one of these on their own are pretty bad, and they would not fix the problem. One broad example would be if the least skilled player in the lobby got killed by the highest skilled player in the lobby, would they lose less RP and vice versa? Would they get a major bonus to RP? If the opposite occurred, from my experience, you get a couple points difference. That's it. A couple points. And we'll see here. Scoring and balance is a super delicate topic and requires a lot of work even before being ready for testing. Bullshit. Right now, the feedback we're hearing is that it is very much not worth the risk of being in matches with higher skilled players. Not at all. The skill difference is insanity. I don't care who you are, just Preds versus Diamonds is bad enough. It's not that they can't compete, but a triple stack Pred versus a solo queue Diamond, it's not really a contest, regardless of individual skill. And so no, none of this is worth it. So I kill, say I'm Silver, right? And I kill a master player. I get a couple more points than killing a silver player. Like, who the hell cares? But if I lose all my entry RP. That's much more loss for me than it is for that master player to lose out on 2 points for their kill. You know, it doesn't make any sense. And so what? I mean, if you wanted to keep that skill width the same, the amount of points you would need are ridiculous to make up for that. And when I mean ridiculous, I'm talking like hundreds of points, because I'm like, to be fair, a low level player, you're not killing multiple tiers above you, let alone maybe even divisions. So I don't see that as a good thing. They should not be being played together to begin with. It shouldn't be such an issue that everyone needs different points based on your skill. Like, these are just band-aids to bigger problems, and that's not good. And that's about that. So let's wrap it up real quick and summarize. Anti-cheat, they have detection methods for teaming, which we can only go on their word for. Botting, we got new machine learning models, which we can only hope are working, and the only way we're going to know this is by seeing this decline in our games. Reporting feedback, useless. Recently compromised accounts, cool. They fixed some other exploits, so hopefully hacking is not going to be as much an issue, but obviously that is yet to come. This is all hearsay. You know, we can just trust them on that. If they can keep up their transparency and keep talking to us about what they're doing and how much progress they're making, maybe there's some light at the end of that tunnel. But it is obviously one of the biggest points of concern for this game right now, because all integrity is practically lost at the upper echelons of this game. Matchmaking, I honestly thought was going to be much better than it is. Our skill display is probably the coolest thing we're going to get for pubs, if you even play pubs. But at the same time, it's mediocre work. Freaking Tarzan could do this better in 30 seconds. So they definitely need to step this up, but it is a step in the right direction. Seeding skill values, whatever. It's not too big a deal. It's just, you know, you're not going to be pub stomping your first 10 games. Maybe it's just 3 games instead. That's going to help your lower skilled players adjust to new modes, which is nice for them. It's good for them. Lessening skill resets is a big thing. We don't need to be grinding 1,000 hours a split just to reach our intended or what we think our rank is. Just get it, take your time, let's have real matches, and then not worry about it. But obviously, there needs to be some purpose here. Like, what the heck are we even playing for anymore? Like, we haven't had rank rewards in how many seasons? Anything good, useful, nice, something to go for? We'll see some of that. But obviously, we gotta take care of these core problems first. There's gotta be a reason to play. And hopefully the integrity that we're building here is gonna give us that reason. Testing, it's all a bunch of testing. So until they actually start implementing, it's all a bunch of talk. NPC bots, cool, yeah. You know, you want to keep people into the game that are new to the game, 100%, I get it. Do not let this spill into anything mildly around an average player or above. This will ruin the experience completely. Nobody should be playing bots that has a concept of gaming. Just no. Preferential matchmaking solos versus pre-mades. I was honestly hoping they would just shoot the gun on that one and start giving us some new lobbies without all this endless testing, because they obviously don't. They f***ed up a lot a long time ago. They should have dealt with this a long time ago. I've been talking about this issue for years, specifically. You can just, you know, group with grandma and you already have a better chance, like, of beating random players. Like, fix it. Your queue times shouldn't be your main concern here, because there's 100 other problems and you had the player base to do it, and now you're going to try to do these things with barely anybody playing. You're not going to get the results you're wishing for here. Ranked pre-made restrictions, tighten that up. 2 tiers is insanity. Let's talk about 1 tier or even divisions. That's way too big a spread. This, unacceptable. This should never happen in any game, ever. That is not ranked. That is pubs with flash. It's nothing. Placement matches, fantastic. Let's get us out of the crap bronze hole every single split. It's not even fun anymore, because guess what? Half the other people you're playing in bronze aren't bronze players. They're just getting out of bronze just like you. So let's skip all that bullshit, unnecessary playtime just to feed your numbers. Skill difference in scoring. Yeah, okay. We don't need all these super high skilled players with low skilled players. You don't need to up 100 points, down 100 points, whatever, based on your kills. Like, it's ridiculous. Just make fairer lobbies and you won't have to touch this band-aid bullshit. But overall, it's a good, right? They might not fix it. Apex Legends might not be saved, and that's okay. They need to fix this. If they can fix these issues and at least show the community they're dedicated to fixing the core problems, then I think it's okay for you guys to scrap this and go do Titanfall 3. Because nowhere in my mind do I see you guys doing this 20-year plan. It's not going to happen. Especially when everything is years late. So, hopefully you got something good out of this. There is hope, but it's all a lot of talk right now. But these are the big issues. Content, second to come. Right? But only content matters if these are fixed. Thank you. Have a good one.